and Rob. Well, actually, we're going to be talking about Chess Rumble, written by
I got to tell you,
Greg
did you do
Neri.
the illustration on this?
No, it's an artist named Jesse Watson, who's a great
Fantastic,
urban artist.
man.
Yeah.
Joining us is Greg Neri. Thank you very much for coming out here. I read your bio earlier today, or earlier last week, but wow, you've had a busy life. What haven't you done? Honestly, skydived?
Yeah, I try to, it's all a form of storytelling, whether it's filmmaking or painting or digital media. Now it's kind of graphic novels and hybrid graphic novels. And for me, it's just trying to constantly break and bend the rules in find different ways to tell new stories. And for young people, particularly boys who don't like to read and urban teens, if you hand them a book full of words, it's like a big disconnect. So I'm trying to reinvent the concept of what a book means to a young person. And so we're using a lot of like free verse and urban language and really cool art, and it's a whole new format.
The only reason I asked about if you did the art is because you're so diverse in what you do, and I love your philosophy about trying to deliver a message, and it doesn't need to be delivered in the traditional sense.
Right.
With technology today and the way people ingest things, you get to explore. Isn't it sort of an exciting time? I mean, it really is.
Yeah, coming from digital media, that kind of taught me, we started off right when the internet broke out, and we had to kind of help invent the language. And so when I approach books, I kind of look at it the same way. I pretend, a book's never been made before, and we have to kind of invent how we're going to tell the story in a fresh way that's going to make people sit up and go, oh.
Well, you've done everything. You've had your movies aired on HBO, you've worked with Disney, you helped create what's going on the internet. What made you focus on teenage boys and reading? You've just had so many different things going on in your life.
Well, that kind of happened by accident because I was, after I did the whole digital media thing, I was doing illustration for younger kids, toddlers. And from my filmmaking days, I had a script that was geared more towards teens, and it ended up becoming a graphic novel. And that turned out so well, the editors asked me to do this book. They had an idea, they wanted to do something about the urban chess scene. And so that kind of grew into this. And then I found this niche that not a lot of people are doing, writing books for urban teens and reluctant readers. And so suddenly I found like an audience.
That's political.
But do you find that they're buying your books?
Yeah, I've gotten great response so far. The book's been out like a month, a little more than a month, and just tremendous response from teachers and librarians and students.
That's fantastic.
It just won a big honor yesterday. It was named by the American Library Association as one of the best of the books of the year.
What is this book about?
Chess.
Rumble.
Well, this book is about a young kid named Marcus who's basically one fight away from being kicked out of school. And the only way he knows how to deal with things, because he's had so much frustration in his life, is with his fists. And he encounters this tough love chess mentor who basically learned how to play chess in prison and has now started his own program dealing with these kind of urban kids who are at risk. And so the whole book is really kind of the arc of their relationship, and it's set up like a chess match. So there's an opening move, there's a middle game, and there's an end game.
Oh, I like that.
So the whole book is like a chess match between these two opposing forces,
Oh, so not only did you bring the chess, and you actually brought it into the story and how you wrote the story, and in the verse of being able to put it in language that doesn't bore a reader with some visuals and that kind of stuff. Is there a little searching for Bobby Fischer in here or anything like that somewhere?
Well, a little bit. It's a kid who's never played chess before, and he kind of discovers the love of chess. And the language thing was really interesting because we really pushed it to use a real urban voice. You hand a kid a book by Jane Austen, and there's such a big gap.
Oh, sure.
That this book is more of a voice they might recognize. And so I consider that to be like a bridge to get kids who aren't reading into reading.
Yeah. Well, it's fantastic. What do you have? With all the stuff that you've done,
what's
you've
next?
You've got to have like this repertoire of, I know what I'm doing next, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I know I'm gonna use everything that I've done in my life and just kind of put it together.
Well, basically, my whole life up to this time has been, a series of unexpected doors opening, and my role is just to be ready for anything. So, you know, I'm game for telling stories. I mean, my thing is I'm a storyteller. So, you know, whether it's this kind of book or movie or painting, you know, I'm always ready for the next thing, you know, and I know there's something out there, and I may not know exactly what it is, but I might have a story, and the challenge is to find a unique way to tell that story.
I know this is not the most unique way, but we need to talk about it. Maybe we need to come up with some kind of webisode or something, and just kind of just drag it, you know, just bring it on and make it happen throughout like several weeks of web stuff. I mean, we really need to talk about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Or even taking these stories up.
Well, no,
How
I mean,
can
I think
people
awesome,
get information about you? How can people buy your book? What's in contact?
They can go to my website, which is gneri.com, gneri.com, and you can find out everything about me, about this book, and about I have 2 other books that are coming out soon. And there's a lot of information, not only about the book, but about the whole chess scene throughout the United States. There's a lot of great links. So it's a good place to go.
Again, if you don't want to buy this book, by the looks of this cover, I don't know what's going to get you to buy it. This is a really awesome cover.
Well, we can send some people out to your house. And no, I'm kidding.
The back cover's pretty cool, too. Greg, thank you very much for coming out here tonight. I know that you're busy, so we appreciate it. We look forward to having future conversations with you. So thank you.
Can we have you come on when your next 2 books hit the stands?
I have a graphic novel called Yummy that's coming out in spring. And then a novel
talk about that?
the following summer. So.
Oh, so
we'll have you back in the
spring.
Absolutely.
Touch in spring or before that if we get a little opportunity to talk.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you very much for coming out.
You're welcome.